So today's class about inverting and non-inverting operational amplifier. What is inverting operational amplifier? What is non-inverting operational amplifier? So these two are the basic applications of op amp. Inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier are the basic applications of your operational amplifier, right? So let us start. Yeah. So we already said that the third unit is divided into two subparts. The first part is belongs to linear applications. Second part belongs to non-linear applications. So before we're going to go through the linear applications of op-amp. So first, why these are some applications are called linear applications, right? So in the linear applications, we know that what is linearity, right? The output voltage varies linearly with respect to the input voltage, nothing but linearity, right? If the for an linear for an operational amplifier, the output of that particular op amp varies linearly with respect to the input what you applied at the input terminals of op amp. Then that is the one of the linear application of op amp, right? In such linear application, generally we employ a negative feedback. Generally we employ a negative feedback. Negative feedback means here we are connecting the output through a resistive element to the inverting input of op amp. Inverting input of op amp. Inverting input nothing but it is the negative input. It is the negative input. Such way, that's why this feedback path and feedback is called negative feedback. This is called negative feedback. Why it is called negative feedback means here output of your operational amplifier is connecting to negative input, that is inverting input of your op amp through the rest using the resistance, or sometimes you can use the capacitors, right? Sometimes you use capacitors also, depends upon the application, right? So that means here the output is connected to inverting input of op amp. That's why it is called negative feedback. So in linear applications, we frequently use a negative feedback, which is nothing but the amplifier output is connected to inverting input terminal. What are the examples of linear applications? What we are going to discuss in upcoming classes? What are the applications? What are the applications we have to analyze in the coming classes, right? Uh, we know we already discussed the inverting and non-inverting amplifiers are the basic applications of op amp. In addition to those two applications, basic application, we have adder, which is adding the two or more input signals, subtractor, which subtracts the signals, voltage follower, whose output is equal to input, already discussed in the slew rate concept, right? Instrumentation amplifier, which is an industrial amplifier used in industrial applications, plants, right? Integrator, whose output is integration of input, differentiator, whose output is differentiation of the input. Addition to these applications, we are having the V2I converter, voltage to current converter, and current to voltage converter, right? So these are the various linear applications of op amp. Why it is called linear means the output varies linearly with respect to input voltage. In the linear application, generally we use a negative feedback. Negative feedback nothing but the output is connected to inverting input of your operational amplifier, right? Is it clear, right? So coming to non-linear applications, before going to start linear applications, let us look at regarding what is non-linear application, right? So non-linear application nothing but the definition itself, the output is varies non-linearly with respect to input. The output is varies with respect to the output is varies non-linearly with respect to input, right? In nonlinear applications, we use a positive feedback. We use a positive feedback sometimes. Sometimes we use a non-linear element. We know that diodes and transistors are non-linear elements. Diodes and transistors are non-linear elements. So generally in the non-linear applications of op amp, we employ a positive feedback. If you observe this feedback, the output is connected to positive input, that is non-inverting input of op amp by using the resistance, or sometimes we may use capacitor also. We may use capacitor also here, right? So based on the application. So here, why it is called positive feedback means the output is connected to positive input. In the linear applications, the output is connected to negative input, that is inverting input. That's why it is called negative feedback. So similarly, in nonlinear applications, we use negative feedback also. We'll use negative feedback also sometimes, but in the feedback path, instead of R and C, we use non-linear elements. Non-linear elements, nothing but we connect diode in the feedback path. We connect a transistor in the feedback path, right? So while connecting the non-linear elements in the negative feedback path, it becomes one of the non-linear applications of op-amp, right? So ante non-linear applications lo mana positive feedback use cheyali maximum. So that's why we use positive feedback. Sometimes based on the requirement, we use negative feedback also. But in the path negative feedback, we will use non-linear components, that is diode or a transistor, right? So the nonlinear circuits have high nonlinear input and output characteristics. Already discussed. The output is varies nonlinearly with respect to input. So what are the typical or nonlinear applications? Means precision rectifier. So you already aware of rectifier in the electronics subject. So what is the difference between rectifier and precision rectifier? We'll discuss on that day, right? While discussing the precision rectifiers. Logarithmic amplifiers. That means logarithmic amplifier means the output is log of input. The output becomes the output which is equal to log of input. So these diodes and transistors, generally these type of construction is used in the log and anti-log amplifiers. Log amplifier and anti-log amplifier. This type of circuits అనేది మనకు అక్కడ చూడొచ్చు, right? Comparators, right? Which compares the two input signals, which is V1 and V2. So V1 is greater than అయితే what is V0? Plus VSAT, minus VSAT, already starting lo cheppan, same thing, comparator. And one more application, very important application, Schmitt trigger circuit. So these are the various nonlinear applications of op-amp. So these are the examples of nonlinear applications, and the adder, subtractor, inverting, non-inverting operation amplifier, voltage follower, instrumentation amplifier, integrator, differentiator, and V2I, I2V converters, they all are the linear applications. So you have to remember, linear application means output varies with respect to output varies linearly with respect to input. We employ negative feedback, right? What is non-linear application means output varies non-linearly with respect to input, right? We generally use positive feedback, but sometimes we use negative feedbacks with non-linear elements like diodes and transistors in the feedback path, right? So now coming to first application of op-amp, that is linear application of op-amp, inverting amplifier. What is inverting amplifier? How the output looks like, right? So as the name implies, inverting, nothing but output of such amplifier is inverted as compared to input. That means output equal to V0 equal to minus of Vin. If we apply input to the inverting input of op-amp, you are getting output as V0 equal to minus Vin. Approximately minus Vin, not exactly. Some constant values untundi, multiplication factor untundi. So V0 is proportional to minus Vin. Andike constant untundi manaki, proportional to constant, right? Leave it. So the basic theme is your output is proportional to negative of input. That means the 180 degrees phase shift between input and output, right? So this is the circuit. If you observe the circuit, here I am applying input to the inverting input of op-amp. Vin is applied to the inverting input of op-amp, and this is the linear application. That's why we are giving a negative feedback, right? Negative feedback, right? Here the output becomes minus of Vn. Here the output becomes minus of Vn. That means there will be 180 degrees phase shift between your input and output, right? That's why it is called inverting. That's why the term represents, the name suggests, output of such an amplifier is inverted as compared to your input signal. That means the inverted output signal means having a phase shift of 180 degrees as compared to input signal. So then an amplifier which provides a phase shift of 180 degrees between input and output is called inverting amplifier. This is a basic definition of inverting amplifier. It is an amplifier circuit which provides a phase shift of 180 degrees between input and output is called an inverting amplifier. Coming to the analysis. So we have to do the analysis for every application in this chapter. we have to do some mathematical analysis, right? So we have to find the gain. Especially we have to find the gain and we have to find the output, right? So for this circuit, Akila, right? So for the circuit, we have to find the uh, closed loop gain. So what is the closed loop gain of this inverting amplifier? The gain nothing but V naught by Vin, output by input, V naught by Vin. We have to calculate what is V naught by Vin. So we have now, it's time to apply the assumptions, two assumptions to analyze the circuits, right? The first assumption, the current through op amps are the currents through op amp are zero, and second one, concept of virtual ground, right? So first one, so coming to the analysis, as node B is grounded, node A is also ground potential from the concept of virtual ground. So VA equal to 0. If you observe the circuit diagram, right? If you observe the circuit diagram, here non-inverting input group, that means the node B is grounded. That means from the concept of virtual ground, right? A is also virtually grounded. A is also virtually grounded. Nothing but VA equal to 0. VB equal to 0, right? Because it is grounded. So VB is obviously 0, right? But from the concept of virtual ground, right, VA also becomes 0. That's what here he is telling. So now coming to analysis. So here I'm considering the current. Here I'm considering the current through R1 is I. The current through R1, the current flowing through R1 is I. And at this point, the current is splitted into two parts. Generally, the current is splitted into two parts at this point, at this node. This I is splitted into two parts, I1 and I2. But from the analysis, from the assumption, the current through op amp is 0. The current through op amp is 0. This is one of the assumption, right? So if the current through op amp is 0, that means the current flowing through this path into the op amp is 0, nothing but the current what the value is flowing, I mean R1, the same current is flowing through RF. Nothing. Why? Because the current flowing into the op amp is 0, assumed as 0. That means, so the current, when the current is divided at this point, if the current is flowing through this path is 0, that means this entire current I must be flowing through this feedback path. The entire current must be flowing into this feedback path. Nothing but uh, the current flowing through R1 and the current flowing through RF should be equal, right? Nothing but the current what is flowing through R1, it should be equal to the current flowing through the resistor RF, right? So first we have to calculate what is current flowing through R1. What is the current flowing through R1? So from the circuit, we should know, right? So what is the voltage at this point? What is the voltage at this point? This one is VA, right? Voltage at this node is VA. Then what is I? Which is nothing but V in minus VA by R1. I is nothing but V in minus VA by R1. V in minus VA by R1, right? So V in minus VA by R1. So same thing here we have written I equal to V in minus VA by R1. But what is VA? From the concept of virtual ground, B is grounded and A is also virtually grounded. So VB becomes 0, nothing but VA also becomes 0, right? So when if you substitute VA in the place of VA 0, then finally the current becomes V in by R1, which is take it as equation 1. We have to take this one as equation 1. Now coming to output side, coming to output side, already explained. So the current through op amp is 0, nothing but the current what is flowing through R1 must be flowing through, the entire current must be flowing through RF, right? If you find this I, which is flowing through this RF, now So what is it, what is the value of this I flowing through RF? VA minus V naught by RF. VA minus, here we are having the potential VA, right? VA minus V naught by RF. VA minus V naught by RF. That's what here I have written. From the output side, considering the direction of current I, we can write the current flowing through RF is nothing but VA minus V naught by RF. And we know that VA is 0. From the concept of virtual ground, VA is 0. Then what is the current here? Minus V naught by RF. Minus V naught by RF, which is considered as equation 2. And already explained, the current which is flowing through R1 it should be equal to the current which is flowing through RF, because of the current through op amp is 0, right? So the entire current what is flowing through R1, which is flowing through R1, right? The same current flowing through RF. That means both we have to equate these two currents. Nothing but we have to equate these two, equation 1 and equation 2. So if you equate those two equations, we get V in by R1 equal to first equation, and second equation minus V naught by RF. Minus V naught by RF. From this, what is gain? Closed loop gain means V naught by Vn, which is nothing but minus Rf by R1. Here the closed loop gain of inverting amplifier. What is the closed loop gain of inverting amplifier means? Which is ratio of feedback negative sign of feedback resistance to ratio of feedback resistance to input resistance R1. Input resistance R1. Right here, negative sign indicates 180 degrees phase shift. Right, the output is out of phase, 180 degrees phase with respect to input. That's why it is called inverting amplifier. Negative sign resembles the 180 degrees phase shift. Right, here the RF by R1 is the gain of the amplifier, while the negative sign indicates the polarity of the output, that is opposite to that of B input. Opposite to that of input. Nothing but V naught is proportional to minus of Vn. Right, hence it is called inverting amplifier. So graphically, so here I am applying Vin, which is taken as a sinusoidal input signal. If you observe the output, right? If you observe the first part of the output and this one, right? And this one, they are out of phase. They are 180 degrees phase shift, right? The difference between those phase angles is 180 degrees. That means output is 180 degree phase of your input signal, right? We'll take some example problem, right? This is a given problem. So you have to identify based on the circuit, right? Here the input is applied to inverting input. Nothing but is an inverting amplifier. You have to identify first initially when solving the problem. You have to identify here the input Vn is applied to the inverting input of op amp, right? That's why it is called inverting amplifier. So that nothing but it is inverting amplifier. So what is the gain of inverting amplifier? We know that. What is the value? Minus Rf by R1. Minus Rf by R1. Right? So minus Rf by R1. So minus Rf. Rf, how much it is? 47 kilo ohms. What is R1? 10 kilo ohms. Then what is the gain? Minus 4.7. Generally, the magnitude is called, while calculating the magnitude, right? Gain magnitude, that is V naught by V in, it becomes 4.7 only. But why it is negative sign means? Negative sign indicates phase shift, that is inverting mode. Okay, right? That right. We'll take one more problem, interesting problem, right? So what is the given data in the second problem? So what is the statement? A sine wave of 0.0 volts peak voltage, not peak to peak voltage, right? Peak voltage, that means positive or negative cycle ichad. Okay, given data. So a sine wave of 0.5 peak volts is applied to an inverting amplifier using R1 is 10 kilo ohms, RF is 50 kilo ohms. Given data, RF is 50 kilo ohms, R1 is 10 kilo ohms, right? It uses the supply voltage of plus or minus 12 volts. So here the supply voltages, nothing but here. The supply voltages are plus or minus 12 volts, which is applied to the pin number 4 and pin number 7 of your 741 integrated circuit op amp, right? So plus or minus 12 volts instead of plus or minus 15 volts. Here in the given data, he used plus or minus 12 volts, right? Then find the output and sketch the waveform. So we have to draw the waveform and we have to find the output, right? So this in second problem, we are having two cases. First, coming to first case. So what is the given data? 0.5 volts. That is VM. Given VM is 0.5 volts. VM is 0.5 volts, right? That means half of the magnitude, half of the cycle magnitude, right? So positive cycle or whether it's negative cycle. So the magnitude is 0.5 volts. And the given data, resistor values are 10 kilo ohms. R1 is 10 kilo ohms. RF is 50 kilo ohms. And it uses the supply voltage of plus or minus 12 volts. So given supply voltage also. So what is our objective? We have to find the output and we have to draw the waveform. So what is the type of amplifier here? He mentioned inverting amplifier. Inverting amplifier. What is the gain of inverting amplifier? What is the formula? Minus RF by R1. Minus RF by R1. What is RF? What is RF? 50 kilo ohms. What is R1? 10 kilo ohms. So what is the gain? Minus 5. If you calculate the magnitude, what is the value? 5. Right? So what he asked, determine the output. So we know that V naught by V in equal to minus RF by R1. So from this, what is V naught? V in into minus RF by R1. So here in the place of minus RF by R1, we consider only magnitude. Okay. So V naught becomes V in how much? V in how much? Already mentioned in the problem. How much? 0.5 volts. Right? 0.5 volts VM into gain. Gain how much? Calculated 5 with the help of the formula RF by R1. So what is V naught? 5 into 0.5, which is 2.5 volts peak, right? 2.5 volts peak. So if you observe this, this graph, right? Plot the graph on kada. Plot the graph. So this is the 0.5 volts input signal, right? So whose magnitude plus 0.5 and minus 0.5, right? So it is the input signal. This input signal is applied to inverting amplifier whose feedback resistance is 50 kilo ohms, whose input resistance is 10 kilo ohms. So what is the output becomes after applying that it's 0.5 volts input signal to your inverting amplifier, the output becomes 2.5 volts because the gain is 5, right? Already calculated. The gain is 5 here already calculated, right? Where the gain is 5 and into 0.5. So the output becomes 2.5 volts. The output becomes 2.5 volts. So if you observe the output waveform, right? So here the output magnitude becomes plus 2.5 and minus 2.5. But what you have to observe is the phase shift. Here the amplifier is inverting amplifier. That's why output is 180 degrees out of phase with respect to your input signal, right? So this is the A bit, right? Coming to the second question, what is the given data in the second part? Now, if now the amplitude of input sine wave is increased to 5 volts, that means he has increased the input of input voltage. That means from 0.5 volts to 5 volts increase chesaru. Then what will be the output? Is it possible practically sketch the waveform? So this is some interesting question, right? He has increased the input for your input signal from 0.5 volts to 5 volts, and here he asked us to calculate the output, and he also asked, is it practically possible? Sketch the waveform, right? So to solve the problem, so first we have to write what is the given data. Input is 5 volts. He has increased the input voltage from 0.5 to 5 volts. So what is the output formula? V in into gain. Gain already calculated here using RF and R1. Gain is already calculated. How much it is? 5 volts. So in the second problem, he has not changed the RF and R1 values. These two values are common for A and B. So what is the gain here? 5. So 5 into what is the input voltage? He increased it to 5 volts. 5 into 5, 25 volts peak. 25 volts peak. But already discussed in the initial classes while explaining the op amp in the open loop gain, right? So generally, the output of op amp saturates at plus or minus 12 volts only, approximately plus or minus 12 volts. That is at supply voltage. Already discussed, right? Output your output may be output. The maximum possibility of output is depends upon your supply voltages values, right? Here he has given. That's why he is given supply voltages in the data. ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేసుకోవడానికి మనకి ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చాడు, రైట్? మనకి ఈ డేటా ఎంత ఇచ్చాడు? సప్లై వోల్టేజ్ ప్లస్ ఆర్ మైనస్ 12 volts ఇచ్చాడు. సో సో మనకి అవుట్పుట్ అనేది ఈ రేంజెస్ లోనే రావాలి. బట్ ఇక్కడ అవుట్పుట్ మనకి ఎంత వచ్చింది, హౌ మచ్ వి క్యాలిక్యులేట్, హౌ మచ్ వి గెట్ హియర్ 25 volts ఇచ్చాడు, నాట్ పీక్ టు పీక్ హియర్ ఆల్సో. దట్ మీన్స్ పీక్ టు పీక్ 50 volts, పీక్ టు పీక్ 50 volts అని, రైట్. బట్ what is the maximum possibility of output which is saturates at plus or minus 12 volts approximately, right? Because we are applying plus or minus 12 volts only, right? That means if you plot, if you are trying to plot, or if you are trying to get the output by applying 5 volts as the input, the output waveform looks like this. That means if you observe the waveform for the second part of the problem, so here the input is raised from 0.5 to 5 volts when compared to this problem, right? Here input is 5 volts and the peak to peak voltage is 10 volts, right? So what is the output, what we get, what we get from the problem, what we got from the problem? 25 volts, 25 volts. But what about the possibility of output, right? It always swings between the around your supply voltages, right? So that means it saturates around your supply voltages, right? So what are the supply voltages is applied? Plus or minus 12 volts. That means if you, even though if you are getting 25 volts, so if up to 12 volts you are getting the output out of phase with respect to inputs similar to this one. But when it crosses the minus 12 volts point, when it crosses the minus 12 volts point, it gets clipped off, it gets clipped off, right? So we are getting a straight line like this, flat pattern. Then after that again it starts like and reaches to plus 12 volts, and at this point again output will get saturated and we are getting a flat line again. That means this top portion of your positive cycle gets clipped off, and again this continues again at negative part at minus 12 volts, and again it gets clipped off, right? So because the possibility of output swing is depends upon your supply voltage, what you applied to your operational amplifier. Here in the problem he applied, he has taken plus or minus 12 volts, but while calculating the gain, after calculating the gain and after applying 5 volts input, we are getting the output as 25 volts, which is not possible practically, right? That's why that up to 12 volts the output is out of phase, similar to question number A, part A. But after crossing the 12 volts point, that means it the pattern, right, is clipped off, right? The voltage here saturated, output voltage is saturated, right? This is what he asked, right? Is it practically possible? Not possible. So 25 volts peak output is not practically possible. That's what he asked in the question. Is it practically possible? Not possible. Sketch the waveform. So we have to draw the waveform like this. So here the bottom peak and top peak you have to clip it down. So ila meer dotted lines to represent chesukovalama clip ayinattu. Okay. So in both cases what is the phase shift? 180 degrees. Why it is called? It is inverting amplifier which produces 180 degrees phase shift between your output and input. Coming to non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier, the name represents, right? So the name explains here the input is applied to non-inverting input terminal of op, non-inverting input terminal of op amp. So here the amplifier which amplifies the input without producing any phase shift. Here the output is in phase with your input signal. But in the case of inverting amplifier, your output is 180 degrees out of phase with respect to your input signal. But in the case of non-inverting amplifier, you are applying input to the non-inverting pin. That's why you are in the phase also. Output and input signal both are in phase, right? So coming to the analysis, the same analysis, the same procedure will applied here also. From the two assumptions, the current through op amp, the currents through op amp are 0, and the concept of virtual ground, right? So here the signal applied to non-inverting amplifier, the non-inverting input of op amp. So while deriving the closed loop gain, right, what is the voltage at this point? So it is A. If it is A, this node is A, and if this node is B, right, what is VB? Which is becomes V, which is Vn. From the concept of virtual ground, what is VA? From the concept of virtual ground, what is VA? It is also Vn. So VA equal to Vn. VA equal to Vn. From the concept of virtual ground, VA equal to Vn. because this non-inverting input is applied, the input is applied to non-inverting input terminal. So here what is the value of VB? Nothing but VB is nothing but Vin. VB is nothing but Vin. So from the concept of virtual ground, VA also equal to Vin. VA also equal to Vin. And what is the assumptions? One more assumption: the currents through inverting input and non-inverting terminal input terminals of op amp are assumed as 0. Are assumed as 0, right? So while doing the analysis, so we have to write the equation from output side. So here the supply is given. So here the input is applied to your non-inverting input. Now the current flowing from output side to input side in reverse compared to inverting input. Here at the inverting input in the inverting circuit, inverting amplifier circuit, you are giving the you are giving the input to inverting input, and the current flowing like this from input to output, from input to output. But here in the case of non-inverting amplifier, you are applying input to the non-inverting input terminal of op amp. Then the current starts flowing from output side to input. The current starts flowing from output to input. Now, while doing the analysis, so what is the current flowing through RF? Which is I. The current is flowing through RF is I from output to inverting input of op amp. From output to inverting input of op amp. From output to inverting input of op amp, like this. Okay, what is the current through RF? I. What is the value of I? V0 minus what is the voltage at this point? VA. V0 minus VA by what is the resistance? RF. This is the current which is flowing from output side to your inverting input side, right? So I equal to V0 minus VA by RF. So when the current is coming at this node, while when it comes to this point, here the current at this node, current is generally splitted, right? So splitted into two parts because of the right. So the concept of nodal analysis, right? So but we have assumption the current through op amp is 0. The current through op amp is 0. Nothing but the entire current what is flowing through your RF must be flowing through your input resistance R1. ఇక్కడ ఎంత కరెంట్ అయితే ఫ్లో అవుతుందో RF నుంచి, the same current will flowing through R1 also, because the current through op amp is 0. That means the entire current must be flowing through the resistance R1. So what is the current at this point? What is the current flowing through R1? So here the current flowing through R1 is VA minus VA minus, here what is the voltage at this point? Here this end, one of the end of this resistance is connected to ground. Nothing but what is the voltage here? 0. Voltage is 0. VA minus 0 by R1. So what is the current flowing through R1 is VA minus 0 by R1. So here these two currents are same. Both currents, this I which is V0 minus VA by RF should be equal to VA minus 0 by R1. So while after equating those two equations, right? After equating those two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, right? We are getting the relation like this: V0 minus Vin by RF equal to Vin by R1. V0 minus Vin by RF equal to Vin by R1. So after simplification, V0 by RF it becomes, after take Vin by RF to your right side and take the Vin as common and do the LCM, and after the completing the LCM, in the denominator RF and RF left hand side and right hand side both are get cancelled. Then calculate the closed loop gain which is V0 by Vin, and R1 by R1 equal to 1 plus RF by R1. 1 plus RF by R1. So what is the closed loop gain of non-inverting amplifier is 1 plus RF by R1. What is the closed loop gain of inverting amplifier is V minus RF by R1, where negative sign indicates 180 degrees phase shift. So if you observe the response graphically, so here this is the input, sinusoidal input which is applying to non-inverting input terminal of op amp. So if you observe the output, the same pattern. That means input and output both are in phase. The input signal and the output signal both are in phase, right? So this is about non-inverting amplifier, right? Is it clear, all of you? Inverting amplifier and non-inverting amplifier, they are the basic applications of operational amplifier. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is the end of today's class. Tomorrow class will do some problems, some model problems on inverting and non-inverting amplifiers, right? So thank you.